Just nothing like the smell of Sasquatch farts. There's nothing like it.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some exercise technique stuff, right? So I know we always talk about different types of range of motion and different types of exercises and certain exercises that might be right for you or maybe not. But today we're going to talk about grip width, especially on the bench press. So something I've been doing lately just for fun is narrowing up my grip on the bench press. Now this does a couple things. First of all, it makes it easier for me to do a certain range of motion, and the range of motion does become a bit longer, right? There's definitely a different dynamic that plays out because my grip is narrower, so there's a little bit more rotation around the shoulder that happens, and there's a little bit more distance to travel. One could argue there's more distance being traveled, right? As opposed to when I'm wide, once I fully extend the elbows, the bar doesn't travel up and down quite as far. Now, that's not the only factor to consider, but what I'm trying to say is that narrowing up the grip, there's no question, it does change the dynamic of what the exercise is for you and what muscles get activated. So sometimes people will get obsessed with lifting heavier weight, which I'm all about lifting heavy weight. I'm all about you lifting heavy weight to put that stress on the overall system and on the body. But sometimes lifting heavier weight might be counterproductive when it comes down to activating certain muscles. So that said, say you have a labral tear in your shoulder. Going wide on the bench might put more stress on the labrum as opposed to going a bit narrower and bringing in a little bit more tricep and front delt in the motion, right? Not only that, sometimes you do have a tendency to get a better chest stretch when the elbow is at a different angle than say when you're locked into the wide bar position. So because of this may help you activate a little bit more chest, and that might be the goal for why you're doing bench press. I mean, that's the goal for most people when they're doing bench presses. So for myself, I just been messing around with doing a little bit of a narrower grip, not close grip, but just more of a medium grip. And I am noticing a different type of activation on the chest. Now I've done this in the past, but I'm just revisiting this because I found I've almost kind of gotten to a plateau with the wide grip on the bench. So now I want to change up the grip. Now the one thing you will notice, or at least I've noticed anyway with myself, is that I'm significantly weaker with the medium grip. I'm not able to do as many reps with the same amount of weight, and because of this, it could give you the illusion that you've went backwards somehow. But what I'm trying to say to you is that it isn't about how much weight is on the bar. That's not the end-all be-all. It's more about what are you activating through an exercise. What is actually happening in the muscles and in the body.
Put that rock down. I just did like 50 or 450 reps, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just in my rest set right now. My cameraman forgot to turn the camera on.
Sound like you're from like Night at the Roxbury or something.
Night at the Roxbury? Was that a joke about rock?
So depending on where your weak link is, whether you have weak triceps or weak delts or whatever, this will also play a role with what you find happens to your strength when you're doing medium grip, right? So I know that I'm weak in the lockout position. I'm not as good with the lockouts and stuff. And so when I'm doing medium grip, I notice that my lockout position is exploited a bit, you know? So that is another reason why you sometimes want to change the grip up with how you do things, because you are going to hit different weak links. And sometimes you've been depending on a strong aspect of your body and almost leaning on that too much like a crutch instead of working on those weak links as well. So that's why sometimes changing up the grip is not a bad idea, especially if it's safe on your joints. So if you notice like one type of grip totally tears you apart or causes you joint pain, then definitely don't do that. I'm saying definitely do not do that. But if you find that you can safely do a variety of different grips, then I would recommend widening up the grip and narrowing the grip from time to time to find out where your happy medium is and also to activate different muscle groups. So yeah, I've been doing this on bench press and I'm enjoying it. It makes bench press fun again because, you know, after a while, once you do bench for so long and you do it the same way, sometimes you're like, okay, I want something different here, you know what I mean? And on another note, there was back in the day a football player that used to work out in the gym where I trained, and I was only about 18 years old at the time. But this guy was huge. Like he was about 6'2", 6'3", and I think he was 240, 250, and he was mostly all upper body. Like he had huge pecs and everything. And his grip, funny enough, was fairly narrow. he had his elbows tucked in and he was fairly narrow when he was benching, and he got awesome chest development from that. And he was doing like 4 plates for sets of 6, 7 reps, like 405, like nothing. It was like up and down. So I mean, this guy had a lot of chest development despite a different grip, right? Because some people think that wide grip is the only way to hit chest. Sometimes wide grip will hit your shoulders more than a medium grip. So that's the other thing to consider, right? So you have to find that area where you feel the most activation on the chest, and not necessarily just, you know, be able to lift more weight and put it all in your delts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is something to think about. I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now.
Mountain.
Yeah, I think there's a new guy here. There's a new guy. He just contributed today. Nice. Thanks, man. Thank you. You know what really works well for a flotation device for people who don't subscribe to my channel? This right here. This is a great flotation device. I don't know if you can see it from there, but this is exactly what we're talking about right here. This is a good flotation device. This is a safety tip for you people that, or who don't want to subscribe to the channel. I figure I'd give you some free safety tips. Right there. There's your flotation device. You just go in the middle of the lake and then get your buddy, your best friend, maybe another snowflake that you know that you hang out with. You get them to tie this thing to your ankles, and then you just jump in. Mountain.